Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Buns Burgers, Big Ideas. We've got another cool clip for you today. It's got a pretty cool story, I feel like. It's just funny when I came across it the other day, just scrolling TikTok, you know. Yeah. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. It's from Bryant Fretwell on TikTok. Let's take a listen.
One of the most effective leaders I ever knew started every meeting asking his team how they found the blueberries. And while it was the weirdest question I ever heard, when he told me what it meant, it changed my entire view of leadership. He said most teams start the day talking about challenges and problems, but he didn't think that's how humans were designed. He said if you and I were hunters and gatherers and you had just found a bunch of blueberries to bring to the pack, the first question I wouldn't ask you is, what did you do wrong? He said for our pack to survive, we need to know everything about what you did well, what strength you used, and how you found them without getting killed. He said the more every person on my team understands how we're successful, the more likely we are to survive. He told me he doesn't start the day asking about the blueberries to make everybody feel good, but to crystallize for everyone what good looks like. And in that moment, he taught me that leadership wasn't just about helping people overcome problems, but more about helping them clarify strength, impact, and potential.
So, Eric, where'd you find the blueberries, man?
Where are the blueberries?
Can you share some with me?
Yeah, we got to find them. What's great about this clip, though, Riley, is we do not talk about success enough. And I know as we were getting ready for this, we kind of talked about maybe some different reasoning as far as why people don't talk about success. But one thing that I heard the other day is start using phrases like what excites you rather than like what's going on in your day, right? Because people say, well, how's your day going? Or,
it's fine.
Yeah,
it's
fine.
going.
So all of a sudden, like just to get people to talk about their wins, right, we got to maybe phrase some things differently because we are like human nature. I don't know if it's just us or, the way that I'm built, but it comes across sometimes as you're bragging, right? So how do we get and empower people to talk about those wins and what went well? Because it's so easy to focus on the problems.
I mean, I'm definitely one of those people. I don't like to brag.
Sure.
But I do like recognition. So I keep that close to but it's tucked in.
Yeah.
I'm not like, guys, look I got a gold star. Like I'm not that guy.
Sure.
But being able to share how I got the gold star, how I got the blueberries can actually help our team.
It is. And, we want to be able to share our success. So how do we get people to operate out of a silo? And we've been trying to work on that for the last few years, but it feels like the people who struggle or the times we struggle, we're not open about that. And it's like this fear of just like people aren't going to want to help me, or it's the fear of maybe losing the position or the job, or, just you're up against the wall. So you don't, I don't know. Like how do we
it's all stress and negative feelings, So how do we get them out of that silo?
Yeah, and how do we get people who are successful more comfortable with sharing more, right? Because when I share my success, because you mentioned this, like the bragging, right? It's not me bragging, it's me simply just sharing what worked. And we need more of that.
Yeah. Collaboration in this field and in this industry, well, in any industry really, is important because if you're going to gatekeep that, secret thing that you did that, really made you successful, and you're a part of a team, that's kind of doing your team a disservice a little bit.
Yeah.
So sharing what tactics worked for you doesn't mean it'll work for somebody else, but you're changing the kind of, you're changing the emotion, you're changing the vibe, so to speak, of the conversation and of the dialogue within the company.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, just culturally wise, right? Like over the years, it's easier to be negative.
Exactly.
It's super easy to get caught up in that. People like to talk, like, I don't know if they like to talk negative, but it's easier to talk negative.
They start venting and it flows more naturally because it's just, I don't know, it just grabs a hold of you. Where I want to walk up to somebody and be like, what excited you today? High five,
Well, even with that, though, when we do talk about what excites them, like it seems like we don't stay on that very long, right? Oh, you were good at that. Perfect. Now let's move on.
Yep.
But so why don't we even sit on that? And how do we get people to understand that it's okay to talk more about the wins rather than the losses?
Yeah, they always get pushed to the side. It's just so weird, when you think about just us as humans, you would think we would want to talk about the wins more. right?
Yeah.
But it's the opposite. Like you just said, it's the negative energy, it's the negative thoughts, it's the complaining or those, things that come to the light.
And even with the times where it doesn't go well, right? Like we can still find the success in the negative. But like I said, it's just easier to be negative. So, if in your team, in your restaurant, in your organization, or wherever you're listening from, if complaining is common, we got to look to change that. And it might be simply starting your meeting with, show me where you found the blueberries. Because I like how the story just resonated. It's not about everything's perfect. It's not about everything like this kumbaya type stuff. It's just to get people to share, right?
Yeah.
And we have so many successful people in our organization, but we want them to share. And it's not an ego thing. It's not a bragging thing. Even, people who come to you, because I have it all the time, like, oh man, times are hard. Like you can feel isolated in success.
Yeah.
So how do we get people who are successful able to share that more where they're not feeling isolated? Like, because there's a lot of big wins out there.
Yeah.
But because we don't share it, they might think they're the only one winning.
And then they don't want to share because, somebody else might have had their worst day of the month in results. So why would I be bragging, or why should I be saying that I succeeded when everybody else is struggling? Yeah. No, I get that for sure. Because again, that's me. I don't want to be like tooting my own horn while somebody else is struggling. To bridge the gap here, I should be like, hey, try this.
Yeah.
Try this, worked for me.
Yeah.
See if it works for you.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden, they're, maybe it doesn't work right away, but maybe it works a little bit and it boosts their spirits, and then they try something else, and now all of a sudden they're up here with you.
Yeah. And I feel like I have to also be better at that. Like I just from listening to this, Riley, you bringing this to my attention today, I feel like I can also improve in this area. I feel like there's some things that I can do from a leadership standpoint to help people who are successful be able to, like, we need to shine that light a little bit brighter.
How do we shine that light a little bit brighter, Eric?
Yeah. Well, besides putting some new batteries in the flashlight, right? Creating more of a safe space, I think, to do it, right? Like, just because somebody comes to you with negative, like, how do we allow people to feel safe in sharing that success? How do we allow and normalize celebrating of that success, right? Like, we talk about this. We talk about, okay, we got to win, but I don't know if I allow people to share much more than the fact of, like, hey, they had a win, and then we move on. So how do I get better?
About digging more into that.
Yeah.
Well, how did you win?
Yeah, there you go.
How
I'm
did
gonna
you
write that down, Riley, because I do. I gotta get back to this a little bit.
Yeah. How did your team feel when you won? Like what are those key things that made it so successful? Is it the team that you had? Is it the people that you had? Well, now cool. I want to go talk to them too. Yeah. What did you guys do to collectively win as whatever they won, right?
Yeah.
The Blueberries. But
we were I was in a tournament the other day for pickleball, right? I played some pickleball. I was in a tournament. I was trying a new format yesterday. I had some new teammates, and what we were doing wasn't working, right? And then I got to thinking, like, wait, what was successful? And what we're doing isn't working, so we got to try something different. So now I need to go and look at other players. I need to look at the teams and say, okay, what's working for them, instead of just living in our own, hey, this isn't working and we're losing type stuff. So all of a sudden, I look around, we try something different, and guess what? We start to get some points. We start to get momentum. Now I'm going to tell you, we didn't win, but we got closer because we tried something different. So for those of you that are struggling, I'm going to just put it back out there. Like, go talk to people who are successful. Go ask them how they're winning. Don't be afraid of that either, because we've already said it's not natural to share when you're successful.
Yeah.
So if you're not feeling successful, you have to go find the people who are, and you have you might have to go pry a little bit more. You might have to ask them more about the blueberries than you want to, or that they want to share.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a great conversation, and I think the blueberry example it does it really well with, hey, we're not trying to make it, it's not a feel-good moment. It's, I'm a leader. I need my team to know how we operate or how we're successful. So I want people to share that knowledge.
It was great. So thank you for bringing up blueberries.
Of course.
I think I'm going to go have one or two. So.
Next staff meeting, you're going to be
snack.
Like, where are the blueberries? Nobody's going to know what you're talking about.
Oh,
That'll be the inside joke.
There you go.
If they listen to this one.
So thank you. Thank you all for listening. Share your success. It's not an ego thing. It's not a bragging thing. We got to change the conversations. We got to start talking about what success looks like, and everyone else will be better off for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, learn, and lead. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us on Buns, Burgers, and Big Ideas. We hope today's episode inspired fresh ideas for your leadership journey. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and keep learning with us as we continue to explore leadership in the QSR world. Until next time, take care and lead well.